Hello and welcome to Express News with me, Deepika, your daily half-an-hour window that brings you 100 news and updates from the country and the world in just 30 minutes. Let's begin. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will embark on a two-nation trip to Brunei, Darussalam and Singapore on Tuesday, India's External Affairs Ministry announced on Monday. On 3rd and 4th of September, Prime Minister Modi will be in Brunei, while on 4th and 5th of September, he will visit Singapore for talks on areas of strategic partnership between the two nations. The External Affairs Ministry Secretary East, Jaideep Mazumdar, said that Prime Minister Modi's upcoming visits are important from both economic and strategic points of view. India's President Draupadi Murmu on Monday embarked on a three-day visit to Maharashtra. She attended the Golden Jubilee celebration of Sri Varana Women Cooperative Group at Varananagar. India's Union Cabinet approved a digital agriculture mission with a total investment of 2,817 crore rupees on Monday. An outlay of 2,291 crore rupees for strengthening agricultural education, management and social sciences has also been greenlit. The Union Cabinet has approved a 309-kilometre-long new line project providing the shortest rail connectivity between two major commercial hubs, Mumbai and Indore, that will be completed by the year 2028-29. India's ruling party, the Bharatiya Janata Party, has begun its membership drive on Monday. The drive focuses on enrolling new members and renewing the existing members of the party. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched the drive as he received the certificate for the renewal of his membership from the party president. All existing members will need to renew their membership. India's Department of Telecommunications has introduced the first set of rules under the Telecommunication Act 2023, prescribing the functioning of Digital Bharat Nidhi that replaces the Universal Service Obligation Fund. 2nd September is the first anniversary of the launch of India's solar mission, Aditya L1. It is the country's first solar observatory mission. Confederation of Indian Industry, or CII, is organizing a two-day summit on Financing 3.0 that began on Monday with a broad theme called Financing for Vikasit Bharat, or Financing for Developed India. India's Chief Economic Advisor Dr. V. Anantanageswaran said that collaboration, challenges and confidence have significantly shaped the Indian economy's progress. Indian Air Force's renewed helicopter display team Sarang is set to grace the skies of Egypt as part of inaugural Egyptian International Air Show scheduled to take place from the 3rd till the 5th of September in Al Alamein. West Bengal state government is planning to introduce a bill with provision of a strict action to the range of capital punishment for rape criminals. International Conference on Bioenergy was convened on Monday in New Delhi with an aim to advance the nation in use of alternative fuels. Addressing the conference, Union Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas Hardeep Singh Puri said that India is aiming for 50% of its installed electricity capacity to come from non-fossil fuel sources by 2030. The minister also said that India is on an ambitious path to revolutionize its energy sector and reaffirmed that the government is making every effort to scale up E20 production. Officials in UP's Bahraich district have intensified efforts under Operation Wolves to capture wolves responsible for killing of 8 people over the past 2 months. 4 wolves have been caught so far. 2 Indian Army personnel were injured in a terrorist attack on Monday after terrorists opened fire at the soldiers near the Sunjwan military camp in North Indian region of Jammu. Benchmark equity indices ended the week's first trading session at record high closing levels. The BSE Sensex added 194 points to settle at 82,559. The index hit an all-time high of 82,725 during the intraday trade. Mirroring the Sensex, Nifty 52 settled higher at 25,278, up by 42 points. The index hit an all-time high of 25,333 during the intraday trade on Monday. Broader indices ended on a mixed note with Nifty Mid-Cap 100 and Nifty Small-Cap 100 ending lower by 0.23% and 0.33% respectively. Indian rupee fell 5 paise to end at 83.925 per US dollar versus Friday's close. Gold futures maturing on the 4th of October stood at 71,563 rupees per 10 grams on Multi-Commodity Exchange of India Limited. Silver futures maturing on the 5th of September were retailing at 82,329 rupees per kg on the MCX. Oil prices extended losses on Monday on expectations for higher OPEC plus production starting in October as Brent crude futures fell 56 cents to $76.37 per barrel. Asian share markets got off to a quiet start on Monday as investors braced for a data-packed week culminating in a US jobs report that could decide whether a rate cut expected this month will be regular or supersized. MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan dipped 0.4%, while South Korean stocks edged up 0.3% on Monday. US dollar climbed to a two-week top against the euro on Monday as traders paired bets for aggressive policy easing by the Federal Reserve, with the focus now moving to a crucial US jobs report at the end of this week. Around 10,000 US hotel workers have launched a multi-day strike in several major cities after prolonged contract negotiations with Marriott, Hilton and Hyatt broke down. Israel is witnessing a national outage following recovery of bodies of 6 more captives from a tunnel in southern Gaza. Emotions were high on the streets as protesters demanded ceasefire deal. The Israeli economy has come up to a standstill due to one-day general strike on Monday called by a major trade union to put on pressure on the government to reach a deal with Hamas. Thousands of demonstrators also gathered at New York City's Central Park to pay tribute to 6 Israeli hostages killed in Gaza and call for the return of other hostages. United States Democratic lawmakers also renewed calls for an Israeli-Hamas ceasefire, while Republicans criticized the government for not giving support to Israel. Germany's Alternative for Germany party is celebrating a historic success with a big victory for the far-right party in the eastern state of Thuringia. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz called the results of 2 regional elections bitter and urged mainstream parties to form governments without right-wing extremists. Russia has launched missile strike on Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. The strike comes as a new school term began in Ukraine. Ukraine's air defense units destroyed 10 cruise and ballistic missiles. Law students from several Mexican universities rallied on Sunday against the government's plans to reform the judiciary, students and professors defending the justice system's independence. French President Emmanuel Macron on Monday hosted 2 former presidents and 2 potential candidates in an intensified effort to find a new prime minister. Azerbaijan's ruling party was set to retain its majority in Sunday's snap parliamentary election. President Ilham Aliyev's party was on the course to win 67 out of 125 seats in the parliament. Indonesia is hosting the 2nd Indonesia-Africa Forum in Bali. The 3-day summit is aimed at enhancing economic cooperations between the 2 countries. Mexican President López Obrador celebrated Mexico's new status as the United States' leading trading partner, marking a significant milestone in the economic relationship between the 2 nations. More than 80 teenagers have been released from prison in Venezuela after being arrested during anti-government protests following Venezuela's presidential election in July. Pope Francis is set to embark on a 12-day trip to Southeast Asia. The pontiff will arrive in Indonesia, where he will attend an interfaith meeting. Malaysia's Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim and his New Zealand counterpart Christopher Luxon agreed to expand their bilateral trade value by 15% by the year 2030. New Zealand Prime Minister is on a 3-day visit to Malaysia. Dozens of feverish patients laid on the floor of an Mpox isolation ward in East Democratic Republic of Congo as hospital workers grappled with drug shortages and lack of space. Myanmar's military government is all set to conduct nationwide population census in October this year. The census data will be used to prepare voter lists for 2025 elections. Australian former childcare worker Ashley Paul Griffith on Monday pleaded guilty to sexually abusing and exploiting dozens of girls under his care in Australia and Italy. Navy and Marine Corps from the United States and South Korea on Monday conducted joint amphibious landing drills off the coast of Pohang. The drills will strengthen their alliance's combat readiness. Indian Navy's P-8I aircraft touched down in France, marking its first ever deployment to Europe to participate in the 22nd edition of Exercise Varuna with the French Navy. We're heading for a short break right now. Welcome back after that short break. Let's continue. Women has died and more than 120,000 were left without power after high winds and heavy rain hit southern Australia. Weather warnings are still in place, keeping in mind the ongoing conditions. Thailand's Met Department issued a weather warning predicting severe monsoon rains across 51 provinces. Citizens are advised to brace for potential flash floods. Heavy rains flooded streets in parts of the Philippines as tropical storm Yagi hit the country on Monday, prompting the suspension of government work and classes. Yagi brought winds with gusts reaching 105 km per hour as it continued to move northwestward in the northern island of Luzon. Every year, storms and typhoons hit the country between late June and October. Ghana has banned the export of some grains including rice, corn and soybean to prevent a food shortage as the nation grapples with drought. Residents in the Vadodara district of India's Gujarat grappled with rising fears of waterborne diseases as floodwaters receded slowly. Last week, heavy rains brought on by cyclonic winds killed at least 29 and displacing thousands. Heavy rainfall continued to wreak havoc across the Indian states of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, leading to severe flooding, loss of life and widespread disruption. The railway track between Tadla, Pusapalli and Mahabubad in Telangana washed away due to the incessant rainfall. Restoration work is currently underway. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke to Chief Minister of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, inquiring about the situation in the wake of heavy rains and floods. Several parts of the national capital witnessed heavy rains on Monday, causing inconvenience to the commuters. Delhi and other parts of the national capital region are likely to receive more showers. Sri Lanka's annual chariot festival has begun in Jaffna. The iconic Nellore Kandasamy temple has been drawing thousands of devotees for its annual chariot affair. The 25 days Nellore festival features traditional music, dance and art forms. The festival brings together Tamil communities from various backgrounds. Bolivians took to the streets of La Paz and El Alto for the annual Pedestrian Day celebration despite thick wildfire smoke blanketing the cities. National Day of the Pedestrian and Cyclist in Bolivia has been celebrated since 2011 in an effort to raise environmental awareness among the local populace. Streets of a small town in El Salvador burst into flames during an annual festival marking a huge volcanic eruption. Residents of Nijapa in El Salvador commemorated the eruption by hurling flaming rags soaked in gasoline at each other while spectators were cheering on the dramatic showdown. Young people with a sweet tooth are flocking to an experimental chocolate museum since its opening this April. The museum is located in the eastern Chinese city of Qingdao, where every exhibit is crafted from chocolate. A trained tiger handler has been hospitalized with injuries to her arm after being attacked by one of the animals at an Australian theme park. In view of the upcoming Ganesh Chaturthi festival, a workshop was organized in India's southern state of Karnataka for children under the age of 16 to make clay idols of Hindu deity Ganesh. Devotees in India took a holy dip in the sacred river of Ganga on the occasion of Somvati Amavasya, a significant day in Hinduism observed on Monday during lunar month. Somvati Amavasya is considered auspicious for spiritual growth and performing rituals for ancestors in India. Indian devotees thronged Somnath Mahadev temple in Gujarat's Ahmedabad on last Monday of Gujarati Sawan month on Monday. Devotees offered prayers at the temple on the auspicious occasion. In Jammu and Kashmir's Rajouri district, the National Rural Livelihoods Mission's Ummeed program is empowering women through income-generating activities like handicrafts and sewing. The parish enclosures of Finisterre in Brittany are hidden gems largely unknown to the public. Their bid for UNESCO World Heritage status aims to bring them greater recognition. The Green Bank telescope in West Virginia is at the forefront of the modern search for extraterrestrial life. Nestled in the National Radio Quiet Zone, this massive instrument begins its nightly scan of the cosmos. Scientists are analyzing the data in hope of detecting intelligent life beyond Earth. The Green Bank telescope is the world's largest fully steerable radio astronomy facility. Traditional Italian boats and gondolas paraded down Venice's Grand Canal over the weekend for the city's annual historic regatta. The regatta has always been extremely popular with both Venetians and visitors. It has been practiced in the Venetian lagoon for thousands of years. South Africa wildlife breeders rattled as lawmakers approve ban on captive breeding. South Africa's phase out of breeding captive big game and ban on the use of lions for commercial gain have left some big cat breeders worried about their business prospects. South Africa has over 8,000 lions living in captivity, the largest captive lion population in the world, surpassing the country's wild lion population. Hollywood heavyweights George Clooney and Brad Pitt and cast of movie Wolves made a dazzling appearance on the red carpet of Venice Film Festival. Fans and critics alike are eager to see how the thriller comedy movie Wolves, written and directed by John Watts, will fare in the competition, with many already buzzing about its potential for major awards. Adele has announced a break from music during her Munich performance. The Skyfall singer shared the news with her fans. Stephen King is urging for the revival of supernatural series called Evil after its conclusion on Paramount+. His support has reignited interest from fans and the cast. Visfort, starring Fardeen Khan and Ritesh Deshmukh, will debut digitally on the 6th of September on Jio Cinema. Directed by Cookie Gulati, the film is an official remake of Rock, Paper and Scissors. Friends fans can now buy Matthew Perry's iconic Chandler Bing wardrobe in an auction. Warner Bros. And Julian's auctions are marking the show's 30th anniversary with a sale on 23rd September. Boman Irani's directorial debut, The Mehta Boys, will premiere at the 15th Chicago South Asian Film Festival. The film is set to open the event. Kareena Kapoor Khan is eager for the release of The Buckingham Murders, where she takes on a D-glam role. She will also star in Meghna Gulzar's Daira and Rohit Shetty's Singham Again. Stree 2, Shraddha Kapoor and Rajkumar Rao star a horror comedy, has shattered every glass ceiling at the box office. The film has now officially entered the 500 crore rupees club domestically. Amitabh Bachchan's granddaughter Navya Nanda has joined the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad for a 2-year course. Indian shuttler Nitesh Kumar clinched a gold medal in para badminton SL3 category at Paris Paralympics. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacted with shooter Avani Lekra to congratulate her on her victory. He said that she is performing well and wished her luck for future endeavours. India's Yogesh Kathunia won silver medal in men's discus throw in F56 category at the Paris Paralympics. Indian para-athlete Nishad Kumar produced a brilliant performance to clinch a silver medal in men's high jump T47 event at the Paris Paralympics. World number 2 Arena Sabalenka defeated Elise Mertens of Belgium to advance to the US Open quarterfinals for 4th time in a row. Alexei Popyrin, who knocked Novak Djokovic out of the US Open, crashed out of the tournament with a 4th round loss to Francis Tiafoe. China's Zheng Qinwen reached the US Open quarterfinal after beating Donna Vekic in a rematch of the Olympic final. Mohamed Salah says that it is his last year at Liverpool, adding that nobody at the club has talked to him about a new contract. Charles Leclerc secured a rare win for Ferrari at the Formula 1 Italian Grand Prix in Monza on Sunday, delighting home fans with a bold one-stop strategy that paid off. Italy's Valentina Petrillo became the first openly transgender athlete to compete at Paralympic Games after qualifying for women's T12 400-meter semi-finals. And with this, it's a wrap here on Express News for now, but news and updates will continue here on DD India. So don't go anywhere. Keep watching and keep tracking DD India for all latest news and updates from the country and the world. Thank you so much for joining us right now. Namaskar.